We're live now.
All right.
Not on YouTube yet. How's everyone doing tonight? Let everybody. We're live now. Let everyone come on in. Not on YouTube yet.
What's going on, everybody?
Hi, everyone. So we have Tyler from Fish Freaks Plus, the CEO and founder of that company. Say hi, Tyler.
What's up, guys? And girls.
And fish.
And fish. Trying to get my
So Tyler,
to load, so.
Tyler, why don't you tell us about Fish Freaks Plus?
Basically, Fish Freaks Plus was founded back in December. Me and a bunch of my now mods, we were all part of another group, and we decided to kind of go off on our own and start our own group. So that's how Fish Freaks Plus Facebook group started. While we were in there, people were saying, hey, you know, you guys should try doing this, you guys should try doing that. So basically one thing led to another, and after a couple of months, in February, we opened the online store, which originally started with just supplies, you know, Seachem, Boyd, Fluval filters and stuff like that. And then slowly people were asking if we were going to start carrying food. And I didn't want to sell the stuff that you could find in a store, basically, because I don't like most of it. I didn't want to go with the mainstream stuff that, you know, other people already have. So what I did was I started searching for manufacturers that could make food that I liked, with ingredients that I wanted. So I found a couple. I sent them my recipes and said, hey, can you guys do this for me? And they said, yeah, of course. We started off with our Angel Flakes and our Tropical Flakes, which are our two biggest sellers right now.
I use them both. They're fantastic.
Yes, you do have both. And then we slowly expanded the line to what we have now. We added cichlid pellets, color pellets, more flakes. Basically, we went from 2 or 3 different flakes to almost 50 different types of food that we can offer, and we actually add more every 2 or 3 weeks. This past week, we just added some of our super red pellets, which are great for discus and flower horns, and guppy flakes. And coming this week, we have veggie flakes, which is good for tropheus and other herbivore fish and stuff like that. So, you know, it's a slow moving ball, but you know, once it got rolling, it kind of hit hard. So that's where we stand right now.
Yeah, I use a lot of Tyler's fish food in my fish room. I start off with angel flakes because I had some picky angels, and out of all my angels, only one doesn't eat flake at all. He doesn't eat anything. But the other picky guys ate the angel flakes, and you guys who watch my videos know how much my angels spawn and my guppies drop fry. And in fact, I'm watching a pair spawn right now as we speak. Hey guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. And I know some people have been have been sharing. So Terry says, no sound, no video. Is everyone like that?
I think some of them can hear us. Gator Tracks, yeah, we do have some. We have some shrimp pellets up there right now. I actually have another one coming out. I'm working with a vendor to add calcium and some more vitamins and stuff to it. So that should be out in the next couple of weeks. As far as international shipping goes, Joel, no, we don't do international shipping right now, only because of the regulations that we would have to adhere to in order to be able to actually ship our foods overseas.
Joe is from New Zealand. Hi, Nick. Hi, everyone. So is the sound and video okay now, guys?
Hey, Mike, somebody saw, was that Rurutu? Saw that that head shaving thing.
Yeah, yeah. Not everyone have a fantastic dome like this.
Yeah.
What was that? United Tanks of America or something?
Yeah, United Tanks of America. They hit 3,100 members today.
Nice.
Flynn, I specifically breed angels and guppies. So those are my 2 favorites right now. I do have a couple other tanks that don't have angel lure guppies. I have some African cichlids, a couple freshwater pufferfish. I have betas and salt tank. Yep, I got a BioCube. Got
So
2 clowns and some other stuff.
Somebody said my volume is really loud, so I just turned my audio down. How's that? Is that good, guys? I don't want to blow anyone's ears out.
Alejandro, you can ask any questions you want. That's why we're here.
So Nick says, do you guys have fry food for angels about a month old?
We do. We actually have 2. Michael has one, which is our, it's called our growth, what is it? Fish Freaks Plus.
Premium fry starter?
That's it, the fry starter. High protein, high in vitamins and minerals. It's great for older fry. I recommend those for fry 2 to 4 months. For newly hatched fry, I recommend our fry powder, which is basically the same size as freshly hatched brine shrimp. It floats for a good 10 to 15 seconds, and then it slowly starts to sink. We designed it that way so that it doesn't immediately go from the top to the bottom, and it kind of simulates swimming brine shrimp. It's similar in texture to golden pearls, except golden pearls are more of a crustacean, where ours are more protein and vitamin based.
Sure, I'm going to be getting that shortly.
Yeah, I actually have a box getting ready to come out to you next week.
Yay! All right, so no shipping to Canada, right? Is Canada? I know Canada's international, but is there different shipping regulations to Canada than other places?
Flynn, if you want to shoot me an email at fishfreaksplus@gmail.com, we can work something out. I have shipped to Canada before. Their regulations are a lot different than most other international destinations. So pretty much if you want it and you want to pay for the shipping, I can get it to you in Canada.
Nice. So GatorX has nice.
GatorX asked if we had any gel formula. No, we don't do gel foods. Basically because of the cost of shipping would make it astronomical for me to get and ship to you. So we're strictly dry foods right now.
Sherry asks, could killifish eat that food? And I'm going to assume yes.
Yes, it's for any small fry, medium-sized fry, big fry. Any new fry can eat our powder and our fry starter. It's not designed specifically for one fish or another.
Corey O'Keefe, my Irish friend, wants to know if you ship to Ireland.
No, again, because of the international shipping laws with customs and everything, it's almost impossible for me to be able to keep my stuff affordable to get to you. For me to ship food anywhere over the pond, whether it's 5 pounds or 25 pounds, it's over $100.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
It sure is.
Fishfreaksplus@gmail.com. Yeah, Flynn.
Yes, sir, that is it.
Ooh, what's in the guppy food?
Give me 1 second. I'll give you the whole ingredient list.
What's up, Dean? While you're getting that list, Joel wants to know, how many tanks do you have?
I actually just got a shipment of it today. Crap. They didn't put it on the box. Hang on, let me see if I can pull it up. If not, Mike, can you pull it up on my website on your side and just read off the ingredients?
Yeah, I think I can do that. I might have the technology.
I think I might actually be able to get it, believe it or not. My computer's actually cooperating right this second. There we go. All right. So basically, as far as the guppy flakes go, when we designed it, we didn't want it to just be protein-based. We wanted it to have not only fish protein, but we wanted it to have vegetables, grain matter, and stuff like that. Because live bearers do require some of that stuff. Actually, in the wild, you'll see them. They'll actually eat plant matter. They'll eat, scattered bugs and stuff like that. So we just wanted to make sure that everything was in there. So as far as the guppy flakes go, I don't know why I missed it, but the ingredients They are whole salmon meal, whole krill meal, whole wheat, kelp, soy flour, brewer's dried yeast, cornstarch, plankton, brine shrimp, fish oil, lecithin, spirulina, and then all our vitamins and supplements that we put into all of our other flakes and stuff like that. I haven't found a guppy specific flake that has better ingredients than that. There are several that are close, but in my opinion, the fillers are too high up in the ingredient list for me to actually consider calling it a top quality guppy flake.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Joel has been posting ingredients for us. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Joel. I'll actually have to fix that that ingredient list. Somehow when I put that up the other day, I missed the whole salmon meal. But the first ingredient is whole salmon meal. It's not just salmon meal.
Nice. Lee from the UK is here. Hello, my friend.
First tropic. When your tank evaporates, you're definitely going to want to top that off. You got to remember, as the water evaporates from the tank itself, your nitrates and stuff like that get more concentrated, which can actually be harmful to your fish. So the more water you can keep in that tank, the lower you'll keep that concentration of nitrates.
You must be reading a question I missed.
Yeah, it was up there.
Fisher Frontosa asks, do you have any sinking pellets in the 3 to 5 millimeter range?
We do. We have not only our cichlid pellets, we have our growth pellets, we have our red pellets, and our color pellets, which all go up to 3 and 3.5 millimeters right now. I'm working on a big guy pellet right now. It's going to be I'll have a floating and a sinking one, which will be good for stuff like dovey, your big swimmers, dovey umbies, stuff like that. The floating will be good for your arowanas whose mouth face up, so they have to eat from the surface. So I will have both of those available hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
So Rutu asked about krill. I know he's got krill pellets, but the angel flakes, the premium angel flakes, have whole salmon meal and whole krill meal as the first 2 ingredients.
Yes.
And go ahead.
Rutu, most of my foods have krill in it. Krill is one of the best things you could ever feed a fish. It's high in protein, it's high in omega fats. It's basically the all-in-one ingredient for fish to eat. Hey, my wife's here. Hi, Kim. No, we didn't show your guppies.
And Daniel's here. What's up, Daniel?
Daniel Anderson. Welcome to the party, my friend.
So Alejandro says he bought 2 angels from a local fish store, and they spawned, and they made it to in a community tank. They made it to free swimmers before they were eaten.
Yeah, that'll actually happen sometimes. What'll happen is if your angels start free swimming and the parents are eating them, there's one of 2 things happening. Either the parents are getting spooked and they're eating their fry as a defensive mechanism, or the parents are noticing some kind of deformation or something wrong with the fry themselves, whether they be belly swimmers, nose up swimmers, stuff like that. The parents will definitely eat those.
Plus, they're tender and delicious. So Kayla wants to know if, since there's no preservatives, does your food have special storing instructions?
As far as storing instructions go, no. As far as no preservatives goes, we don't add any preservatives into the mix when they're manufactured. As far as preservatives and stuff that are added on the boats when the krill meal is added, they don't use the same processes that are used by a lot of the other manufacturers. A lot of the other manufacturers will add ethoxyquin and stuff like that to keep the. Basically, what happens is it's a very fine powder, which becomes flammable if it's introduced to any kind of heat or flame or anything like that. So what they do is they add these chemicals to keep that from happening. The way ours are preserved when they're on the boats, the salmon fishing boats and stuff like that, is they're immediately, as soon as they're caught, they're processed, and then they're frozen. Once they're frozen and they're put in with the other ingredients, they become more stable. So as far as storing instructions go, you're going to want to keep it in a cool, dark place. The refrigerator's fine. If you keep it underneath your fish tank, that's fine. Just kind of keep it away from, the pump of the heater. I wouldn't stick it on a shelf that gets sunlight or anything like that. But I mean, a normal storing is fine. You know, our food will come to you in a red foil bag, which actually does a pretty good job of actually basically refracting the heat away from the food itself, so it does stay fairly cold. But I mean, there's really no special instructions except for to try and keep it out of heat. And
Cool.
the shelf life itself, the manufacturer that I use, with the ingredients that they have, they really haven't found a shelf life on the food yet. Dried and dehydrated fish foods can last a very, very long time. You know, they're at over 2 years now that they've been testing the same batch, and it's still crisp and clean as the day they made it.
So Flynn wants to know, is there a specific way to feed guppies to make them feel and look more natural to them? So Flynn, being a guppy guy myself, I just crush up the flakes until it's pretty fine and drop it in the tank, and they devour it. Tyler?
That's pretty much what I would recommend. As far as guppy fry goes, I mean, guppy fry are one of the bigger fry when they're bored. So you don't need to feed them, you know, anything like baby brine shrimp or anything like that. You can take that flake that you're using and crush it right up in between your fingers and put it right in the tank.
Joe wants to know if you've tasted the foods yourself.
Yeah, I had some for dinner tonight.
Was it delicious?
Oh, it was amazing. Jamie McDonald, fishy too fast to worry about storage. Jamie actually has a lot of our food. He does feed a lot of his fish a lot of our food.
So Alejandra asks about methylene blue. If so, how is that used? I have Cordon brand.
Basically, what you're going to want to do, I use Cordon as well. I have the same one that you use. What I recommend is no more than 3 or 4 drops per gallon. Anything more than that, I found that you end up with a lot more problems than it helps.
And that's for angels, right?
That's for angels. Any angels, discus, anything that you need methylene blue for. I don't recommend anything more than 3 or 4 drops per gallon. Nick asked what the difference between fry crumble and the premium fry powder. Nick, the fry crumble is between 2 and 3 millimeters. 0.2 and 0.3 millimeters in size, and the powder is between 0.1 and 0.2 millimeters. So it's actually a very fine powder.
Hey guys, do me a favor and hit that like button and share it if you haven't already. And Valley Fish asks, Tyler, what's your favorite fish to keep? I'm going to take a wild guess here and say angels.
I got about 2,000 angels sitting behind me, so we'll go with those.
So what's your favorite angel?
My favorite angel is basically any kind of Pinoy. That would be your single dark gene with two doses of Philippine blue.
That's real fancy talk right there.
My wife said if I taste the food, we're getting divorced.
So Alejandro asks, what's the best time to pull the eggs or parents?
If we're talking about angels, I only ever recommend pulling the eggs if you've seen that the parents are eating them. I try to let most of my parents raise their own eggs. If you have a pair that eats the eggs, I would pull them as soon as they are laid. Give them about 3 hours to finish doing their business, and then pull that slate right out of there and put it right into your tank. I recommend doing Daniel Anderson's jar method. That's what I use.
Yeah, I have. So I returned from Japan. I had 3 spawns of angels, and I swore I was going to get the jar and everything I needed last week. And then, of course, life happened. I didn't get the jars.
You didn't get the jars last week. I told you last month to get the jars, and you still didn't get them.
No, because I was going to Japan, so I didn't want to have my son try to raise angels.
Yeah, that's true. And who kicked Daniel out?
Daniel?
Yeah, he said he got booted.
What'd you do, Daniel? Guppy Canal got booted, or his message was deleted. Oh, that's why. You can't do that. Oh, I did it again.
Moses, I will not eat the food. Nick asks, so the fry crumble is good for fry 2 months plus, and the powder is for newly hatched. Yeah, if you don't have, I mean, freshly hatched brine shrimp is the best thing you could feed any fry, basically. So if you have newborn fry, I would recommend at least feeding them the baby brine shrimp for at least a week, and then switching over to the powder. But if you don't have brine shrimp, you can raise them right on that powder for the first 2 months. I actually have a tank behind me over in the corner that I tested this on, and they were raised on nothing but the powder, and my loss rate was no different than what it would be if I were to use brine shrimp.
Nice. So JH Aquatics asks, do you think that they can learn to parent raise eventually?
I mean, Michael, you can attest to this. Any fish can learn to parent raise. I have a pair that took 9 or 10 times spawning before they would actually not eat their kids. So it can take some time.
Yeah, I've had very poor luck with Angel's parent raising. I only had one pair do it, and that was just once.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, it can take some time. You know, it's not if it's their first time. You know, if they're younger parents, it can take them 3 or 4 times before they'll realize what they're doing.
Yeah. So, listen, ask, can you feed your angels live ghost shrimp?
I'm not sure what ghost shrimp. Are we talking about baby ghost shrimp, or are we talking about full-size ghost shrimp?
I'm going to say, the babies, the kind that you can get at like PetSmart and Petco.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can. I mean, if they're in the tank and they eat them, they'll eat them. You know, would I feed them specifically ghost shrimp? No.
So Lee asks, how old do angels have to be before they will breed?
It really all depends on the angels themselves. Usually they'll start to hit breeding size in about 6-7 months, and they'll breed right up to 7, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah. Aquatics says, how many angels do you have now? Pairs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pairs and probably 20 other adults and, I don't know, 100 grow-outs. How many angels do you have, Tyler?
I have 12 pairs. I have probably 150 adults and probably 800 or 900 babies.
What's up, Dion? That's a lot of babies. Everything aquatic average breeding age is 9 to 12 months for angels.
That would be Dina. Hello, Dina. And yeah, she's right. That is the average. That is the average age. You'll usually start to see them pairing off between 9 and 12 months. But as far as breeding age and size goes, I have had angels breed as young as 6 months.
Wow. I've had guppies breed as young as like 3.5 months. They're guppies.
Yeah, it really all depends. I mean, guppies will, if they could breed from day one, they would.
That's true. So what other new products do you have coming out?
I just did a really big CCAM order, so I have some new CCAM products coming out. We'll be adding the discus buffer and the the tang buffer. I have some of the new ChemiPure products coming out. ChemiPure Green. We'll be adding ChemiPure Blue, as well as I do have, I think, 9 or 10 different fish foods coming out the next month.
Nice. 10 different fish foods.
How many shrimp can you put in a 4-gallon tank? It really all depends. I have a 10-gallon tank that has about 70. So, I mean, it really all depends. If you can keep the tank clean, you could probably get at least 40 in there.
Yeah, that's always the stipulation is how clean will the water stay?
What's that?
So Alejandro says, can methylene blue be used with parents and fry in the tank?
I do not recommend it. You're unnecessarily giving the parents the medication that they don't need. The only reason why you use methylene blue in a rearing tank with eggs is because it's going to keep the fungus down on the eggs. It's going to keep the eggs from turning white on you. It's going to keep any fungus eggs from actually spreading throughout the tank. If you leave fungus eggs inside of your rearing jar or your rearing tank, what you'll see happening is that one egg will then start infecting all the other eggs around it, and then eventually you'll just have a carpet of white fungus in the bottom of your on your bottom of your tank.
And nobody wants a carpet of white fungus.
No. See, my wife said I have too many damn fish, but what she fails to realize is in her 2 guppy tanks right here, there's probably about 70 guppies.
Probably. So Young Spy says, is it okay to keep discus and angelfish in the same tank?
Absolutely.
I've done it. You can certainly keep them in the same tank, but discus prefer to be in their own tank.
They do, 100%. But you got to also remember that discus and a lot of these angels were originally from the same lakes. So they're actually used to being in the same area. As far as water needs go, discus and angels are very, very similar.
So what temp do you keep your angels at?
It all depends on what they are. My pairs stay at 80. The fry stays at 78, and my adults stay at 82.
Wow, 82. Huh. Yeah, I find discus do better when it's warmer too, just like rain.
They do. They definitely do. Discus prefer temperatures between 82 and 86.
So if you were doing a community tank with angels in it, what other fish would you put in that tank?
I would probably do angels, discus, a couple of rams, and some quarters.
Yeah, my oldest son's girlfriend's grandparents have a 56-gallon, and I gave him three of my marbles, and 2 paired off immediately. Almost killed the third one. So I took him back.
That will happen.
Yeah, and then she killed him and ate all the rummy nose, the 30 rummy nose that were in the tank. So he's looking for some more tank mates, and I suggested rams to him. So
rams are a great partners for angels. Their temperament is the same, roughly the same. They're not going to bother each other too much unless one or the other is spawning. So I mean, it's just like any other fish. Guppy Canal asked how many gallons need for a small beta. Moses nailed that. The least I would recommend is 2.5 gallons, with lots of places for them to hide through, whether it be a spawning mop or fake plants or stuff like that. I wouldn't go any smaller than that though.
Yeah, I agree. Dion, you don't need RO for discus. I mean, it certainly helps, but
yeah, you definitely don't need RO for discus.
So Daniel is trying to be funny. He likes cheese, and he can say "Caudal peduncle." How's that?
Dion, back on that. The best minerals to add back into discus water if you do use RO water is Seachem Replenish or Seachem Discus Buffer.
Jonathan, what question was a good question? And Young Spy says, is there any fish that is not okay to keep with discus, with angelfish? Anything that fits in their mouth
Pretty much.
Go in their mouth.
Anything they can eat, they will eat. The other things I don't recommend to put with angelfish is plecos. Any kind of African cichlid. That's just a terrible, terrible mix.
So, Wed Marco 1, can I keep an angelfish pair in a 25-gallon? Also, what do you feed 2-month-old angelfish fry? Well, are you trying to breed these angelfish? Because I have all mine in 20 highs. Of course, my tanks get 20% water change daily while I sleep. And what do you feed 2-month-old angelfish fry, Tyler?
I mean, going back on the tank question, I mean, a 25-gallon is absolutely fine for a pair of angels, as long as you are willing to maintain the water quality inside of said tank. Again, the less amount of water you have inside of a tank, the more concentrated those toxins get inside of the water. So, I mean, if you can keep up with the water changes and do a water change every other day, then yes, absolutely, a 25-gallon is fine. What do I feed my 2-month-old angel fry? I feed them the Fish Freaks Plus fry starter.
So Rurutu says, don't keep tiger bars and angelfish together. Tiger bars are assholes.
They
I
are.
don't keep them with anything.
They're definitely assholes. Basically, anything with the word barb on the end of it, with the exception of a few, are assholes, and I wouldn't keep them with anything.
Yeah, yeah. So Valley Fish asked if you sell and ship angels.
I sure do. And if you're looking for anything, just shoot me either PM on Facebook or email me at fishreaksplus@gmail.com. I can let you know what I have.
What's your best looking angel?
That I have that I can sell right now.
Yeah.
Those would probably be my marbles. They are some of the best marbles I think I have ever seen. As far as the striping goes on the marbles, they remind me of almost like a clown. But they're just so broad and their fins are so straight. It's just they're absolutely perfect. I'll throw some pictures up later on tonight.
Aquaworld, look at what you typed. Make sure that's what you wanted to say. Bye, Nisi. Have a good dinner. Koi angels are the bestest. They're pretty darn special. I have some nice kois from one of the auctions I went to. I don't know if you can see them. They're up there though.
My kois are in this tank right here, right behind me.
I don't know if you could see them. Anyway, so pearl scale angelfish are my favorite right now, Valley Fish. I have a pearl scale upstairs. It's the only fish I ever bought from Petco because I hadn't ever seen an angel like that before. The colors it has, and it's doing great.
Yeah, I have a few pearl scales that I like a lot too.
Everyone's saying hi to each other. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
So who's got angelfish or fish food questions or any question you want? We are here to answer them for you.
We don't need to just keep it on those two topics. We can talk about anything you guys want. If I know the answer, I'll answer it. If not, I'll default to Michael. If Michael doesn't know it, he'll default to somebody else.
I'll just make up the answer.
That works too. We got Google in front of us, so.
Yeah.
Is it okay to keep angelfish in a 10-gallon planted tank? Absolutely no. 20 gallons is the minimum I recommend for any angelfish, and I would not keep any more than 2 in that 20 gallon.
What about numbers of angelfish? You know,
numbers as far
an
as
odd number, like always an odd number. Is 1 okay to keep or 2 okay to keep?
Angelfish they're shoaling fish, so they like their groups. I don't recommend anything smaller than a group of 6 if you can do it. Is that to say that if you have a group of 2 or 3 that they're going to die? No, absolutely not. But I definitely do not recommend just keeping one angelfish in a tank by itself.
So Aquaworld says, hi, I'm sorry, my bad. By the way, how is your swords, Michael? Which swords, Aqua? I have the neons behind me. I have koi swords over there. I have black and blue swords over there, and a crap ton of red wag swords. So if you want those, email me and I'll give you a deal. What swords are you talking about, buddy?
Yeah, Dina just nailed that. Three is a bad number, only because if 2 pair off, the other one's dead. So.
Yeah, and that happened with the fish I gave them.
It happens a lot.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to give them 5 this time.
One thing everybody needs to understand is that angelfish, just like any other fish, they're going to spawn every week if you let them. And whether their eggs are fertile or not, they're going to protect those eggs like their life depends on it. If that means killing, their best friend that they've been in a tank with for 2 years, they're going to do it. So it's best to keep them, in larger groups to avoid that from happening.
Which is better, 20 gallon long or 20 high? 20 high is better, young spy.
Absolutely,
the higher
20
the tank,
high.
Yeah, the higher the tank, the better for angelfish is a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, the reason why they want taller tanks is because, tip of fin to tip of fin, they're one of the taller freshwater fish out there. So I have super veils that are almost 12 inches tip to tip.
Super veils. We
It is
need
a
to make
thing.
a commercial with that in it. Yeah.
I know, right? We'll get that guy that does
Right,
the introductions to the movies coming soon.
So Moses says, I knew the question was going to be skipped. What question? Moses, what question, buddy?
Oh, he's asking me what I think about Petco fish. We won't go there. Let's just say I will never put a Petco fish in any of my tanks ever again.
Not even if you quarantine the hell out of it?
I wouldn't even do that. I have no.
That's what I did.
I have no interest in buying any fish from Petco ever again.
That's what I did. I've had good luck. My PetSmart is really good, actually.
Actually, while we're here and while she mentioned it, Dina Edwards from Everything Aquatics, she's actually the president of the Angelfish Society. I don't know who here knows about the Angelfish Society. If we can get one of the admins to put the link in there. Basically, what it is, it's like every cichlid society that's out there except for angelfish. They have some of the best information you can find anywhere in one place. Basically, if it's an article you want to read, it's in there. They have a genetics calculator. They have monthly online meetings and stuff like that. So I'm a member. I know pretty much every other breeder I know is a member, but it's a great resource to have.
So I don't know if there are any admins left. There was a bunch in the beginning, but if you can put that link in the comments for me, guys.
Is there a way just to have Dina put the link in there and just not delete it?
No, I don't think it'll even allow her to.
Oh, okay. DPK asked if I am breeding super red koi. Yes, DPK, my super red koi are on the way. They're probably about 6 months from being ready, but they are on the way.
I want me some super red koi.
I'm sure you do.
So, born to keep fish, my Norwegian friend says, minimum size in gallons for a guppy pond. I have them in 18s outside with no filter. But you could probably go smaller if you had a filter, just like a tank. But I probably wouldn't go smaller than, actually, I wouldn't go smaller than 18 or 15-ish because the water might change temperature too fast depending on what's going on outside.
Yeah, Dina said she tried posting the link. It didn't work. If any admin is left, can we get the Angelfish Society link put up in there? Yeah. Actually, can you just make me an admin and I'll put it up?
Yeah, I could do that. I think.
Why didn't we think of that to begin with?
You have to post something for me to make you an admin.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's why we didn't think about it. Give mod to Kayla. She's responsible and won't ban me. So there you go. Kayla. And look, Rutu. Boom. Everyone's a mod now. Won't you like to be a moderator too?
There we go. I had it saved in my there we go. Paste. There it is. All right, Dina, there you go.
Who blocked Dion?
Dina.
Dion's the mayor. Somebody blocked Dion. Was I blocked? Is my comments not showing?
I didn't see a comment from Dion.
That's what he just said. His comments aren't showing. No, huh. I won't make you one, Daniel. That's fine.
Dion, ask your question again. And yeah, Dina just said that some of the material is member only access. When I say that being a member of the Angelfish Society is like dirt cheap, it's $10 a year, the whole year, nothing else.
That is dirt cheap.
Yeah, dirt cheap. Dina, it's $10 for voting members. What is it for non-voting members? I know it's less.
So, guys, if you Fishroom from Tyler, go to his website, fishfreaksplus.com, and use the promotion code MFR, like Michael's Fishroom, for 10% off your entire purchase with a flat rate of $4.99 shipping and handling. How was that for a commercial?
There we go. I should pay you.
So Dion says, I want to know, can you put Angelfish in with GBRs? Yes, we talked about that. You certainly can. Hey, yep. Susan, I got a surprise for you tomorrow. Hey, Corey from Aquarium.
Hey, Corey's here. Good evening, Corey. How are you, sir? Yep, Dina just said, so non-voting members at the Angelfish Society is $5 per year. So it's even cheaper if you don't want to vote.
Yeah, $4.99 shipping to the United States, Kayla.
Yep, $4.99 shipping inside of the continental United States. That was changed yesterday or the day before. I don't remember.
That's pretty cheap, man. I wish I could ship fish for $4.99.
Hey, I wish I could ship food for $4.99 and not have to eat some of it, but I do. So.
Where are you, Rutu? Did we talk about this? Are you in Japan? Bye, Moses.
Have a good one, Mo. I'll talk to you later.
Mo. Kang Lee in the house. Kang Lee, I will have Panda Guppies ready for you next week if you want. Email me. Jamie McDonald.
Daniel remembers when it was changed because he changed it.
Ooh. He says he's not tech savvy, but he's like a master at websites.
That guy not tech savvy. He's crazy.
What side of the slate is best for angels to breed on? The rocky side or the smooth side? That's a good question. Tyler?
I always let them breed on the smooth side.
You don't take the eggs off the slate, right? You let them hatch in the rearing jar.
I literally don't have a slate. Oh, it's way over there. I'm not going to look at it. I take the slate right out of the tank, put it right in the jar, and then like I said, I use Daniel's method with the curved, hard airline tubing. I put it right underneath the slate and let the bubbles go right up over the eggs.
That's what I forgot to do with the slate that's behind. It's behind the computer. I forgot to bend the tube at the bottom.
Yep. Literally, just take a cigarette lighter, put it right underneath for 2 or 3 seconds, and bend it right up.
If you guys want to know what we're talking about with Daniel Anderson and his artificially rearing method of angels, go to Hypnotic Aquatics on YouTube and check out his channel and all his videos. I've talked about them in my videos before, so if you watch me, you've probably seen him before. But he is a master angelfish breeder and kind of a freak too. So
let's see if my wife's still watching. I need a drink. Cup's empty.
What's your drink of choice?
I think this is strawberry juice or something. Strawberry watermelon juice.
What? Strawberry watermelon juice?
Something like that. I don't know. It's good. It's for the kids. I stole it.
Yeah,
Rutu asked if somebody can explain how Furin 2 works and what does it treat. Furin's actually a pretty good all-around broad medication. As far as what it treats specifically, I actually don't have that information in front of me, but I have used it a few times. If Dina is still watching, I'm sure she can give you the perfect rundown of what that medication treats as far as everything, because I know there's stuff that it treats that it doesn't say on the box.
Strawberry watermelon juice. That's going on the website tomorrow.
Yeah, right? Strawberry watermelon juice with vodka. No vodka. I got to get up at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning and go to work.
What? You have a real job too?
I do. I'm actually I'm a general contractor. I build and fix houses for a living.
I don't build and fix houses. Everything Bob says, which man? Furon 2.
I am drinking adult grape juice. I'm surprised he's not drinking prune juice.
Oh, I think he called you old. So peeps, 47 likes, thumbs up, and only 60 people watching, and 1 thumbs down. Which bozo thumbs down?
Who knows? Hey, Jamie, you actually came to one of my job sites once to pick up some stuff that you bought to save on shipping.
I like me some watermelon root too. Watermelon juice, watermelon, all that stuff is good.
I guess my wife's not watching anymore. She gave up.
Yeah, she's watching Real Housewives of whatever city they're in now.
I think she was watching Glee.
Glee?
Yeah.
Is that show still on?
Nah, I think she's watching it on Netflix.
Love me some Netflix. All right, Alejandro has a real question. I've got a sponge on top and bottom of a 1-gallon jar with airline going through the middle, PVC, both slate won't fit. So is that Angels Plus jar? Is that theirs, Alejandro? I don't know much about that.
Well, I think the first issue is that the sponge shouldn't be in with the slate to begin with. The only thing you need with a slate is either an air stone or, like I said before, the rigid air tubing vent at the bottom so that it bubbles up right over the eggs. Until they're swimming, They're actually, I shouldn't say that. Until they're wiggling and they fall off of the slate, you don't need a filter. You just need to make sure you change the water every day.
So Gretchen says she has a question. She yelled it at us. And I don't know if this has anything to do with this, but do you know if it's normal for an air stone not to have many bubbles when you first get it? What does that mean?
That really depends. You had this issue once before, didn't you, Michael, where one of your stones wasn't giving off a lot of air?
Yeah, it was clogged.
Yeah, it could be one of two things. Either the air stone's clogged or your tank is too deep for your air pump to actually pump air through that stone.
Yeah, like there might not be enough pressure to push the air through it.
Floyd asked, do you package your own fish food or is it shipped to you already packaged? I have the unfortunate task of bagging my own fish food. My wife hates it.
So you bag it and seal it yourself?
Yep, I'll show you. Hang on 1 second.
That's pretty cool. I like these bags. All right, where are we at?
So I actually I buy the red bags in bulk. I buy them, 300 or 400 at a time, and I fill them and seal them myself.
That must be a lot of fun.
No, it's not actually. A lot of my big sellers I kind of do in advance. I'll package, my angel flakes and tropical flakes and stuff like that in advance. I'll just do, 5 or 6 bags at a time. But when you have 30 or 40 orders a week, it gets kind of tedious.
All right, so Priscilla wants to know where the party's at. It's right here. And Valley Fish says, thoughts about adding air stones to sponge filters? Some of the homemade sponge filters I made, I have air stones in them just because I didn't want to drill into the PVC. But in the store-bought ones, I don't add an air stone.
My thought on air stones in sponge filters, there's a lot of sponge filters that won't allow you to add an air stone. I know the Hikaris and the Sephoras don't have room for air stones, but if you get like a deep blue or something, they do leave you enough room for air stones. If you can get an air stone in there, great. There's not a huge difference as far as what it does. You'll see more bubbles, but the way I look at it is more bubbles isn't always the best. I think the bigger bubbles that come when you don't use an air stone moves more water. But I think that if you add the air stone, the water goes through the sponge slower, which actually gives it more time to filter. Vince in the house. What is going on, Vince? Vince is actually one of my admins with Jamie McDonald over at our Facebook group, as well as Mr. Skurnick himself.
Yeah, but I don't partake in any reindeer games usually.
He avoids us like the plague. He'll sit there, he'll approve people, and just not even talk to us. Jamie said check out our website and get one of the pumps on there. They are super quiet and super powerful. Yeah, the new pumps that I actually just started carrying last month, they're the Fusion Quiet. What are they? Fusion Quiet Powers. They come in a bunch of different sizes. I don't have a lot left because I actually just sold a ton of them, but I'll be getting more in, and they are the quietest air pumps I have ever heard. They're even quieter than the Fluval Q2s.
Wow.
Yeah, they're crazy quiet. And when I tell you that they move some air, they move air. I have in the other room, I have one of the Fusion 700s, which is just, it's not big. It's a decent size, but it's smaller than the Fluvals, and it's running 8 75-gallon sponge filters by itself.
Nice. So speaking of sponge filters, Rutu says, or the diaphragm of the pump is broken. I guess she was talking about the air stone not having bubbles. So, I mean, you have to take it apart to check and fix that if you can get the parts. But if air is coming out of the airline tube, then that's probably not it. Kayla says, am I cool?
It all depends on what kind of pump it is. A lot of the pumps you can easily replace the diaphragms, but honestly, they're so cheap now. I don't even mess with them. Once the pump goes out, I get rid of it. There's no sense in doing it. But I do have one pump that runs this whole room behind me, with the exception of my with the exception of my fry tanks. I have those running separate right now because I have to get a tube over to those tanks, and my my brine shrimp hatcheries.
So Daniel, Hypnotic Aquatic says, what do I use for air? I have a diaphragm pump from Gemco. I forget which one it was, but I think he
you had
said it would run.
The 40, I think you said you had, right?
I think that's the one I have. Yeah, whatever one is always on sale for like $95 or something. But I actually have to buy diaphragms for it just to have in stock. But I think what I'm going to do is upgrade to a linear piston pump and just use that one as a spare.
Much quieter when you go to a linear piston pump. Much
Are they
quieter,
more?
they move a lot more air.
Are they more energy efficient?
As far as energy efficient, probably not. I think they're both rated pretty similarly. But when you hook a piston pump up to your, especially a setup like yours, where you actually have a manifold setup, they actually tend to move more air. You'll have to put an air diffuser somewhere in your line so you don't have blowouts.
Yeah, I have one giant loop going around the basement.
Yeah, all you do is you just drop down. You drop down a pipe, and Gemco sells the diffusers.
Yeah,
they just screw on. Shelly said, I missed it. What air pump are you using, Tyler? Shelly, I use the Fusion Quiet Power pump for my smaller tanks. In my fish room, I have the Elemental O2 running in the manifold.
So, Jadran, how come I can't pronounce your name? Jadran Aquatics.
Jadran?
Actually, I just shipped him some guppies on Tuesday, and he got them today. But he said he got a new linear pump from Gemco. I love Gemco. John,
Gemco pumps they're some of the best pumps on the market. I mean, I'm upgrading to a Gemco soon. Like I said, I mean, I have an Elemental O2. It's starting to get a little bit loud in the other room, so I'm going to be upgrading to a Gemco diaphragm pump here soon. Yeah. Daniel, you're not getting booted. You're just hitting the wrong button.
So that happens when you're 900 years old. I answered your question, Daniel. It's an air pump a diaphragm air pump from Gemco. We think it's the 40. I have to go up there and look.
I'm pretty sure pretty sure in your setup video it was the 40. It's either the 40 or the 60.
I think it's the 40.
I think it is too.
Daniel uses a blower. How many tanks do you have, Daniel? Can you overfeed fish to eventually stop eating as long as you don't foul the water quality? No, they won't stop eating. They'll eat until they explode, pretty much.
Did you just ask Daniel how many tanks he has?
Yeah.
I think he has over 150 or close to it.
I gotta arrange a business trip to Florida so I can go see his setup.
I just want to go down. I want to go down to visit his fish room.
Yeah, but if I can arrange a business trip to Florida, then my boss pays.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you can get it paid for work.
Yeah.
They send you to Japan. Why not, right?
Shrink wrapped. So Daniel has 3 pallets shrink wrapped in the garage of tanks. That's crazy. I thought I had a lot of tanks.
He sent me a picture of the pallets. There's probably 150 tanks still on pallets, not even up.
Kayla, where are you at? I'll come visit you. It's not a fish room.
So Devin asked, can you overfeed fish? They'll eventually stop eating as long as you don't follow the water quality, right? That is the wrong thing to do. You never want to overfeed your fish. It can cause too many problems. One of the biggest problems you'll get is you can actually overfeed your fish, and they'll become constipated, and your fish will get prolapsed, which is not the most fun thing to try and treat. Not only that, but yes, it will foul the crap literally out of your water.
Yeah, they'll eat till they explode.
Regardless of what those jars of food that you buy the fish for that say feed the amount that they'll eat in 3 to 5 minutes, don't listen to it. If they don't eat it within a minute or two, you're feeding too much food.
So what's better, 1 or 2 large feedings a day or many small feedings a day?
That really depends on what your schedule is like. I mean, if you can do 3 or 4 small feedings a day, go ahead and do it. But if your schedule allows you to do, an AM feeding and a PM feeding, that's great too.
Yeah, on weekends I try to feed the fry tanks, especially 4 to 5 times.
Yeah, the fry is a different story. You're going to want to feed your fry 4 or 5 small feedings a day. Daniel said it's not a fish room, it's 2 buildings. I'm sorry. I want to go visit your fish complex.
A lot of people in Florida. Kayla's in Florida. Gator Tracks is in Florida. You're in Massachusetts, right?
Yes, I am about 30 minutes north of Boston.
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 His fish compound. Can
Sorry,
you ever have
compound.
too many fish?
It's a fortress with a moat.
Gretchen, you can never have too many fish. At least
Can you
I
have
can.
too many fish? No. We're all here because we don't have enough fish.
Brandon, how are you? Fish estate. That's what you should do, Daniel. A fish room tour. A fish estate tour.
Actually, yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Who's on the West Coast? Corey, are you still here? You're on the West Coast. Alejandro's in Cali. Yeah, Gretchen, put your mother on. I will tell her.
Yeah, Dina, Corey's from Washington. I don't know how far you are from Washington, but that's where Aquarium Co-op is.
Corey is still here. Corey's from, his store's in Edmonds, Washington, which is just outside Seattle. Everything's in Oregon.
Yeah, I don't know how far Oregon from Washington is. I know one's here, one's here. How far that is in miles, I have no idea.
I think it depends on what part of Oregon. I was in Portland. I think Portland's like 3 hours from Seattle. Is that right, guys? Hot Texas. How hot is it in Texas? Jadron. Is that right? Jadron.
I'll tell you, it's hot in this fish room right now. Woo.
Yeah, I shut my heater off when I got down here, and it's still a little warm. Gretchen's mom, you can never have too many fish.
Never, ever have too many fish. When you think you have enough fish, you need at least 10 more.
Guppies were 78, 90 today. 78's not bad.
No, 70 is actually a great temperature.
Well, I sent him 3 trios of guppies. And we were concerned about the heat. So, we sent it knowing that it was hot down there and hot here. But luckily, they ended up in good temp.
Yeah, I mean, as far as shipping fish goes in the summertime, it can be bad if your temperatures get really high. But if it's, let's say, 90 degrees outside, as long as the post office doesn't leave it baking inside the truck on the front seat, you should be able to easily keep the temperature, 80 and just below.
Yeah, and so my post office said that all the hubs are air conditioned. So, the package goes from their place to the hub to the airport, and all that's air conditioned. So.
Yep, it is. Everything inside at the post office is air conditioned. The only thing that's not air conditioned is the trucks themselves. If you're lucky enough to have mail carriers that have vans, those are air conditioned. But the trucks themselves are not.
So Devin says, is flake food pretty much only good for fry? I feed flake food to everything in my fish room.
Me too. All my adults and everything. Yep.
Yeah.
Flake food is good for any fish that will eat it.
Yeah. Yeah, like my rams don't touch flake food, and the pistos don't either. But
rams are very, very picky eaters by nature. They're going to want something that falls right in front of their face.
Yeah, they're lazy, like me.
They're kind of lazy when it comes to eating, definitely.
Yeah, so I shipped those guppies to Jadron Aquatics. He owns a print shop, and he had me ship them to his shop.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. You don't have to worry about them sitting on your front doorstep all day. I actually had them do that.
Yeah.
They dropped. The box said about 9 times, live tropical fish, keep warm. And it was, the tail end of December, and they left them outside. Where can I buy a TDS pen? Gator Tracks. Why do you need a TDS pen? Do you have hard water or are you using RO? But you can find them fairly inexpensively on Amazon.
Are those cheap ones accurate, you think?
I've used them before. They're actually fairly accurate. My RO system has a meter on it, and I've actually compared once the filter started to go bad, and I started comparing the TDS that the meter on the system said was coming out, and the TDS on the pen, and they were within 1 or 2. It was pretty close.
Nice. All right, so 3 things. And Daniel's going to watch House of Cards. I watched 26 or 27 episodes while I was on my way and coming home from Japan. I love that show. See you. Good night.
Daniel gave us 2 fins up.
2 fins up.
Thanks, bud.
Majid
Oh yeah, that
says,
reminds me. I got my Seagrass t-shirt on tonight. That's Daniel's friends down in Florida.
Yeah, his buddies. Eller breastfeeds crushed granules to his fry. That's fine too. And Kayla
Absolutely.
says, is there any way to treat a glass container that has been washed with soap to be fish safe? I would wash the crap out of it with water.
Yep, I agree. Just let the water run through it for a good 15, 20 minutes. Dump it out and do it again.
Yeah. Not my friends.
That was a joke, Daniel. I know they're not your friends. Good night. Go watch your TV show.
Dank Tanks is in the house. So, do you want to go any longer, or we've been going for about an hour?
It's up to you. I got time. Doesn't matter to me. Anybody has any questions, let's get them out.
Yeah. We'll say maybe another 10 minutes or so. Yeah, just keep diluting with water. That's what I would do. What's a 3D net?
I have no idea what a 3D net is. I use the Easy Catch nets. They work awesome.
What the hell's an Easy Catch net?
So one thing I did want to talk about while we were here, this came up in a group that I was talking in the other day, as far as ingredients of fish food itself. A lot of fish food manufacturers do what's called product splitting. And basically what they'll do is they'll take an ingredient, let's say it's wheat, and they'll chop it up into 3 or 4 different ingredients. Like they'll do wheat meal, wheat gluten meal, and whatever else they decide to throw in there. When you see 3 or 4 wheat products bunched together within, one ingredient of each other, you want to definitely question that food, because basically what they're doing is they're splitting that wheat up into all these different other ingredients to make it appear that wheat is not the main ingredient. In that case, where they split up a wheat into 3 ingredients, you can pretty much bet that wheat is going to be the main ingredient of that food. So if, for instance, it says shrimp meal, wheat gluten meal, wheat whatever meal, wheat is actually the main ingredient of that food.
And I'm no biologist, but I don't think fish are eating, wheat in the wild.
Not usually. The only reason why wheat is added to food is because it's an inexpensive protein. It's also vegetable matter, technically. So all of our food contains wheat, but it only contains whole wheat. It doesn't contain, wheat split up into 4 or 5 different ingredients, and it is never the main ingredient of any of our food.
So the 3D net is like a net you would catch koi out of. It's like 3D. It's pretty cool. I've never used one before, but
I haven't used one either. Like I said, I use the Easy Catch nets.
So Bradford Aquatics wants to know what our favorite brands of fish food are.
Fish Freaks Plus, of course.
Yeah, Fish Freaks Plus. You know what I just got? I got a sample of that Bug Bites, and I fed it to a bunch of fish, and I was surprised they didn't devour it like everyone says they do.
Yeah, I got the same thing too. They give you this little tiny bag of like 5 grams of sample. I put it in my show tank, and more of it hit the bottom and stayed there than I actually ate, which is weird because everybody else swears by Bug Bites. But I am working on doing our own insect-based food. I've got a question. Did you guys do the kiss while singing in nachos? Can you make a video about what?
I don't know, but
I don't know what that is. I don't know what you mean, Chew.
Bye, Chew. It's been a pleasure.
Adios, Joe. How many tries should you give your angels? Alejandro, that's completely up to you. I mean, if you want to try and give them 4 or 5 or 6 different tries to get it right, that's fine. If you don't, just pull the slate and let them rebreed while you're artificially raising them.
So Everything Aquatic says, have you tried the Repashy insect foods? I've tried some Repashy foods, but angels didn't touch them.
I tried the Repashy, a couple of the Repashy foods. The only one that ever actually ate any of it was the Morningwood, and my pet Pleco devoured it. As far as the other foods go, I did not have many fish actually care for it too much. But I mean, as far as ingredients goes, Repashy is definitely, you know, the top 1 or 2 manufacturers of fish food without a doubt.
I tried the community one and one other one. I can't remember which one it was. And Guppies devoured it. Plecos devoured it. All the live bearers ate it, but none of the egg layers ate it.
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I only had angels and rams and plecos. I didn't have any guppies or anything, so I didn't have anything else to check it on. Gatorx actually cheapest place to get Java moss. Corey sells Java moss, doesn't he?
Local Fish Club.
Mine doesn't carry it. I have to go all the way an hour away to get it here.
Really? Oh, my local fish store has a ton of it. But yeah, local fish clubs I find are the best place for plants and stuff. And a lot of times you could like if you know someone who grows it, they'll either give it to you or trade it to you for something cheap.
Oh yeah, mine's getting to the point now where I'm just going to start handing out globs of it. Hey, Kim's back. Kim, I needed a drink like 25 minutes ago. I tried getting your attention, but you weren't here anymore. Can you please come and get my cup and get me some more juice?
Pretty please. So Rutu says mealworms or crickets. For what? For fish? A buddy of mine has arowana. He used to feed both.
Valley Fish asked about auto feeders. Thought on them. I don't like auto feeders. I don't use them. If I go on vacation, if it's a week or less, my fish don't get fed. If it's anything over a week, I have somebody feed them for me. I trust a human before I trust a machine. Dina said she uses Spawn and Grow to condition her adults to boost the fry growth. I heard Spawn and Grow was actually probably one of the best foods to get your adult into breeding mode. We'll say. I haven't tried it personally though.
Is Spawn and Grow Repashy?
Spawn and Grow, yeah.
So, adult angels
strawberry watermelon
Grow
juice.
Repashy? What was that?
Sorry, my wife's getting me my juice. What did you say?
I said, adult angels eat Spawn and Grow?
Yeah, I mean, I heard it's great for conditioning, like Dina said. I mean, the fry will eat it and adults will both eat it. Apparently, that's what I've heard from a couple of my breeder friends. I mean, I haven't tried it. I don't need fish food. I don't need to try any other fish food.
Yeah, right.
If I can get my hands on some, I'll definitely try it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's getting late for me, and I smell fresh brownies upstairs, so I think it's time to go eat some brownies and ice cold milk.
Dina, I'm gonna get some Repashy and I'm gonna try it again. One of my local fish stores actually carry it, so I'm actually gonna grab it back and try it again on some of my newer adults, and we'll see if we can get them to eat it, because I do like feeding a variety of food. You know, not just flakes all the time. I do mix up some frozen foods and stuff like that. So I'll definitely try the newer Repashy products that are out.
Yeah, let us know. So, guys, if you are interested in buying some of Tyler's food, go to fishfreaksplus.com. Use the promo code MFR for 10% off, and also flat shipping of $4.99. All right, guys. Share, like, comment, subscribe. Just touch the notification bell. You don't need to slam it. And I'll see you guys later.
Good night, everybody. I'll see you guys later.